Many people today recognize the name Jimmy Dean when they're in the cold section at the grocery store shopping for pork sausage. However, traditional country music followers know that Jimmy Dean was a great country entertainer whose career lasted over 5 decades. He was most well known for his heartfelt recitation songs. Dean was also a member of the Country Music Hall of Fame. Jimmy Dean became a national television personality on CBS in 1957, but he became most well known for his 1961 hit Big Bad John. Jimmy Dean was on an airplane en route to Nashville when he came up with the idea for a song based on a man that he had met in a summer stock play, Destiny Rides Again. The man's name was John Minto. Minto was a burly man. He was about 6'5" and dwarfed almost everyone in the play. He called the man Big John. Jimmy did not have a piece of paper on the plane, so he used the back of a boarding pass. During the 90-minute flight, he began to weave the story of a miner around his friend who was killed in a mining accident after saving everyone else. The song was recorded at Owen Bradley's Quonset Hut studio with Don Law producing the record. Legendary A-Team guitarist Grady Martin helped arrange the song, and in turn, Jimmy Dean gave Grady Martin publishing rights for the song. Country pianist Floyd Kramer was hired to play on the recording session. Instead of playing piano, Floyd found a chunk of steel used as a ballast for a TV camera. He tied it to a coat rack with a hanger. Then he found a hammer in the studio to strike the steel, replicating the sound of a miner's pick. He pulled the microphone up to his invention and asked the engineer to add echo, producing the distinctive sound heard on the recording. Kramer's creation became an important part of Big Bad John. The session was rounded out by Floyd Lightning Chance on bass guitar and Buddy Harman on drums. The Jordanaires provided background vocals. The song was released in the fall of 1961. Within 3 weeks, the song had the distinction of topping both the country and the pop music charts. Big Bad John was at the top of the Billboard country charts for 2 weeks and Billboard's Hot 100 pop charts for 5 weeks. Jimmy Dean realized how big of a hit he had on his hands when he was driving his purple 1957 Oldsmobile in New York City, and Big Bad John came on the radio while he was crossing the George Washington Bridge. He didn't like to hear his own voice, so he changed the radio station, and there it was again. Before he could cross the bridge, he turned the dial and heard the song playing on a third station. After the success of Big Bad John, Dean wanted to do something for the nice man who inspired the hit. He set up an appointment for his tailor so Big John could come in and be measured for a new suit. The tailor said it was the biggest suit he had ever worked on. There's an interesting footnote to this story. Jimmy Dean's contract with Columbia had actually expired before the song was released, but no one realized it, including Jimmy Dean. Jimmy and the label had a hit on their hands, which made renegotiations for a new contract much more lucrative for Dean. Another interesting fact about the record is that there are 2 endings recorded in the song. Originally, the song was recorded, "At the bottom of this mine lies a hell of a man, Big John." About 25,000 copies of the record was released before Columbia halted production. The studio ordered Jimmy back in the studio because they thought the word hell was too strong for radio at the time. Jimmy thought it was funny because the word had already been used earlier in the song and was not omitted. He re-recorded the lyrics, "At the bottom of this mine lies a big, big man, Big John." Big Bad John received many accolades for Dean, including Most Popular Jukebox Record of the Year from the Music Operators of America, a gold record from BMI. It was nominated for 4 1961 Grammys, Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Best Male Performance, and Best Country and Western Recording of the Year, winning the latter award. Jimmy Dean's career really took off after the recording of Big Bad John, allowing him to perform at London's Palladium, the Hollywood Bowl, the Ed Sullivan Show, and a guest host spot on the Jack Paar Show, where he reconciled with one of his guests that night, Roy Clark, who he had fired years earlier from his Washington, D.C. television program. Jimmy Dean continued to have a fascinating and successful career as an entertainer for years to come, but no other song identified Jimmy Dean like Big Bad John. Go check it out.